Brings us to Grambling head coach Doug Williams. Is Coach Williams on the call?
Yes, I am.
Morning, Coach.
Morning.
If you could summarize your game against Louisiana Monroe, and then a look ahead to Alabama State this weekend, and then we'll open it up for questions.
I can make it short. We got the hell beat out of us. Now, we didn't play well offensively. We actually, when we watch the football game and look at all the mistakes that we made, we can honestly say that we assisted in 28 of those points by allowing a very, very short field for ULM. Overall, I thought, you can't keep the defense on the field for 92 plays. That's how many they ran. But I also got to take my hat off to the defense because out of those 92 plays, there's only probably one drive that they put together on the defense in order to score a legitimate drive, not the short field side of it. When you in plus set territory, you're supposed to try to put up some points, and that's what we allowed them to do. But the most important thing here defensively is not allow ourselves to be in that position again. And as far as this week, Alabama State got off to a good start, playing against Mississippi Valley, where the defense created some opportunities for them, and the offense took advantage of it. This week, offensively, especially from the Russians side of it, they was probably like we were as far as being able to run the football, and but they was better as far as throwing the football. They got a quarterback who's very dangerous, running up passing, so we got to be cautious of him and can't afford to let him, do us damage. But we got to find a way to create that. And, defensively, we can't afford them to do what's been done to us the last couple of weeks as far as put pressure on the quarterback. And I'm sure, once they get the tape for the last two games, that's basically what they're going to try to do.
We'll open it up for questions for Grambling head coach Doug Williams.
Doug, this is Roscoe.
Hey, Roscoe.
Talk about the way DJ has developed after the first two games.
Well, I think the last game, Roscoe, is pretty tough to grade him, the running game, receivers, anybody, simply because of the opportunity that we did not have to see. I think the first game against Alcorn was a game that we can say that he did some good things, but this game he did some good things when he had an opportunity, but he didn't have as many opportunities here. And I think what happened, as any freshman would probably do, the two interception would probably be a test to trying to make a play or trying to force something, and those are things that we do not want him to get in the habit of doing.
And how do you look at this game with Alabama State? They are probably one of the favorites, maybe the front runner in the East. With Jackson State not being eligible, and Alabama State have gotten out. Alabama A&M, gotten out to the tough start.
Well, the thing about it, when you look at all of them schedules, Alcorn is 0-2 over there. Alabama A&M is 1-1, but 0-1 in the conference, and Alabama State is 1-0 in the conference. They certainly have the lead on the East, but the thing about this whole SWAC conference is a long year. You're talking about the next 9 games. It's about SWAC, and I'm sure what they try to do is keep their winning ways, and if they find a way to beat us, certainly that's going to put a fella in their hat, and then certainly give them a little more confidence to go on to try to make it to Birmingham. But on the other hand, it also gives us an opportunity to hopefully find a way to go up 2-0-2. In the conference, if we find a way to win a game, it's put us in a pretty good situation, like it would do for them.
Hey, Doug, this is Luke Williams. How you doing?
Hey, Doug, how you doing?
Hey, can you talk about what it was like for you when you started your first game as a quarterback at Grambling and your son and the comparison between the two?
Well, I don't want to get into comparisons because I think, it's kind of tough to get into comparison because we both played in totally offensive schemes. You know, I started my first game against Mississippi Valley with a guy on the other side as the quarterback by the name of Pernell Dickerson. And I spent the whole year as a redshirt watching Pernell play and wanted to be like Pernell. And now all of a sudden I was put in a situation I had to start, but I was blessed too. I was blessed that I had a Dwight Scales and a Sammy White and a big old offensive line and the James Hunters and on defense that afforded me the opportunity to get opportunities to make plays.
Was that your freshman year?
That was my redshirt freshman year, the sixth game of the season.
Oh, so that's what you mean. You had a chance to watch the guy in front of you for 5 games.
No, I had a chance to sit back and watch guys like Pernell Dickerson play in this league.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
And wanted to be like them.
How do you think DJ has handled, both the success of the first game and the maybe the disappointment of this past Saturday?
Well, you know what? I think that's the most important thing for me and for this football team and the offensive coordinator. Him and I, Byron, the offensive coordinator, that's one of the things that we talked about was the confidence thing. And, speaking with him on yesterday and him coming to weight training today and everything, he seemed to be really understanding and realizing that every day is not going to be a holiday. and you got to find a way to overcome those days when things might not go as well as you would like for them, and it's easy for me to tell him I've been down that road, but he's in that position, and for that, it's tough to tell a young guy who wants to succeed that don't worry about it, to be better tomorrow, and he's trying to find a way to get it better.
And lastly, I know Shaq particularly, and probably you also, talked about how much Coach prepared you guys. I know Shaq particularly saying that he was really grooming him to play in the NFL during the years that he was at Grambling, and I'm sure to some degree that for you also. Is that something that you take into consideration with any quarterback that you get, or is it a little something extra special with your son?
Well, the thing that DJ has a thumb up on is, DJ has been with me since he was 9 years old. Just for the longest, it was just me and DJ.
Right.
So, every scenario, every situation that I've been in, DJ has been there. He's sat in the meeting with John Gruden, going talking to quarterbacks. He's been on the field with Josh Freeman and Josh Johnson and Byron Leftwich throwing and working with Greg Olson. So he's been in competitive situations at a young age, and I see a lot of competitive in him, and he become a gym rat. He lives in the tape room and stuff like that, and that's a good sign. And I think that itself speaks volume for what he wants to accomplish. Now, what he accomplishes that is one thing, but I certainly don't think he's going to cheat himself by not trying.
Hey, Doug.
Yes, sir.
I want to tell you, it's Ty Miller from Sheridan Broadcasting.
Hey, Ty. How you doing?
I'm doing good, man. Can you quickly tell me what concerns you most about Alabama State? Because they've had 2 pretty impressive games to start the season.
That's what concerns me, Ty. And we only had one halfway decent game. But I think their confidence level is up. When you're going into somebody else's house, and it's not a regular day game like we always played in Montgomery. It's a night game. I don't know whether Barlow gonna turn the lights out on us or not. We've got to be prepared for that. But I think number one is running into a trap. Like I told him earlier, you pick us to win the conference, but we also know there's a whole lot of booby traps there.
In terms of their quarterback situation, Greg Jennings was hurt this past weekend, but Reggie says he will likely play, but they also have Devin Dominguez. So can you size up both quarterbacks from what you've seen?
Well, let me say this. I haven't seen the past week game. I just saw the Alcorn game. We hadn't gotten our tape yet. We're in the process of downloading it, and I get a chance to see Dominguez. But we was fortunate enough to have a guy who coached him, and that's Byron Brown, who coached along with Melvin Spears last year. So we know a little bit about him.
In terms of seeing how far your team has come within the first 2 weeks, by playing Louisiana Monroe, did you find out a lot more about your team?
Yeah, that we got to be a lot tougher than what we are, and we got to be a little more mentally prepared and have a little more heart about what we're doing.
Thanks, Doug.